Hello, and thank you for joining me here at Take Five with Fanae Five. Hey, that's me. On this day in 1906, Willa Brown was born. She was born about 6 years and 4 days after Bessie Coleman. Willa was able to get her pilot's license in 1938, while Bessie had to go to France because no aviation school would admit her. So let's look at this fascinating story of Willa Brown.
In her quest to be the best, you could argue this Western Kentucky native spent her life proving that nothing is beyond our reach, no matter how high we have to go to achieve it.
Well, I think anytime you're a first at anything, that's a challenge in itself. And being the first African-American woman in the United States to get a pilot's license, and she also was a licensed and certified mechanic, that set her apart from a lot of other women. And typically, women weren't allowed to pursue those kinds of technical careers.
Her name was Willa Brown, born in Glasgow, Kentucky in 1906.
A biracial family, Native American mother and African American father who was a preacher. And after her early years, 4 years, they migrated up to Terre Haute, Indiana, where she finished the rest of her primary schooling and education.
Education was important to the young Willa.
She went to college at the Indiana Teachers College, and she got a bachelor's degree in business. And then that was 27. In 1937, Willa got an MBA from Northwestern University. And then she became a teacher at Gary, Indiana. She taught school. And then she moved to Chicago, where she became a social worker.
But a chance encounter changed the course of Willa's life in the form of pilot Cornelius Coffey.
She fell in love with this idea of aviation.
I would say that Willa Brown was probably one of the first women suffragists that just stepped out on faith to be her own self.
Trailblazer in her field, Willa trained hundreds of pilots, many of whom went on to become Tuskegee Airmen.
She was selected by the U.S. Army to provide black trainees for the pilot training program at Tuskegee Institute. She was the first African-American woman to run for Congress. She was the first black woman to hold a commercial pilot's license in the United States.
She remained involved in public service throughout her life.
During the war, she was the first African American to be commissioned a first lieutenant in the Civil Air Patrol.
Willa dedicated her life to helping others until the end.
Just worked with the community on aviation. She was active in all aspects of the community to help people to realize their dreams and to become better. She taught in the Chicago public schools until she retired.
She died in 1992 at the age of 86 in Chicago, but her legacy lives on.